colors too.
Yeah. Here, Marie. I mean, I should put that.
Oh, thank you.
Just put it over her shoulders.
Here, Cameron.
You might not need her. Oh, maybe she wants the sleeves, Tommy. Take your time. Take a minute. Well, you know, you have to pull it, Tommy, from behind her back. That's it. Oh, there it is. There, she's just missing it.
Here.
Yeah, you have to pull it all the way around a little bit,
Let me
Tommy.
do it.
All right.
Oh, you pulled the wrong way? Oh, don't.
Oh, you just do it for me. Okay.
You don't twist it.
I thought she was going to take it back off. Yeah, Claire, you can put your purse down too. There you go.
There,
You want to take Claire's purse, honey, and put it on the table? Yeah, Claire, you're going to have to step out of
It's
that. Yeah,
pushes them on your feet.
this is better than a skit in a circus. And just move it out of the way. Yeah, I want to get it out of there.
Up over here.
Thank you.
You're right.
Good.
Yeah, that
There's
was
a couple in our lines. I think that's what
Yeah,
we're.
yeah.
Well, that's a good jacket.
That's a lining similar to mine, Marie. That you've got in
But
here.
yours is a lighter weight.
Yeah.
Yours matches, you got a green in there that matches your trousers, I mean, your slacks.
What'd you do to your wrist?
I fell last night. That's what it is.
That looks just.
What'd you fall against?
She fell on the floor by after come back from the bathroom.
Was this before or after your martinis?
Jury.
Huh? Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mary, come on in.
Come on, Mary.
Come on
We're all
in.
filmed and Claire's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire, she's
Wow.
here.
She looks wonderful.
Yes, doesn't she?
Yes. Great.
And just get that extra person on the floor.
Wonderful.
So how was your trip to Elkhorn?
It was actually just over to Mary Lehman.
Oh,
And oh, right, to Mary Lehman's and then to Elkhorn. Right.
that's
correct.
what I thought.
That's where I was.
Yeah.
I knew you were there.
I need mental therapy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could go at the hospital and go your separate ways to different
Yeah.
therapy sessions.
Yeah, right. Mind therapy.
Grandma said she fell last night.
Yeah, that's what Tommy explains too.
Got quite a
It's
bruise
big
on her
bruise.
hip.
Yeah, it's quite swollen and
On the
bruised.
wrist.
Does your wrist hurt you, Marie? Think you could have strained it or sprained it?
No.
It's awfully sore.
Yeah, it's awfully bruised
It's good
and
cut all
swollen.
The worst part of it is Tommy couldn't get me up.
Yeah, when they're down like that, Tony, they're very clumsy. You know,
Well,
hard to
you're
get
just
it.
dead weight when something like that happens.
Yeah. But so what'd you do? Sleep on the floor all night then?
Then she got to the took a chair, pulled up.
Why, see, that worked out all
It
right.
took a while.
That's right.
Good thing you were with her, Tommy.
Well, she said that Tommy didn't help it.
But I heard noise and got right up.
Oh,
Wow, must have been quite a fall.
yeah.
Where were you sleeping?
And then
he puts his
she back
seat on the floor.
right on the floor.
So you were right there. Okay,
Oh, how he loves that sleeping bag.
great.
Well, Grandma knows what he likes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly like that. Well, we're almost having Florida weather. I
See-
know it looked nice and warm out in the back in the sun. Get a suntan out there.
She doesn't like the sun.
No, no.
Well, they showed Boca Raton.
They did.
On television, and it looked real nice there.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're watching Rescue 9/11. They just happened to show Boca last night.
Did they?
Yeah, now that might have been taken a year ago, for all you know. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't do that live, I don't think.
Oh, and the trees are getting so pretty here.
We went out looking at trees, yesterday.
Oh.
Like you, we drove all around the lake on Snake Road and the whole
Yeah?
shebang. We probably should have crossed paths.
I was wondering why we didn't.
We went to Bottles and had chicken salad.
Salad?
And then we drove around Snake Road, and then went all the way out to Millie's and looked at the shop.
Well, you went all the way over to Delavan? Wow.
Yeah, well, you go around the lake,
Oh, I know.
through
You-
Williams Bay, and then you go
Yeah.
past Pierce's farm, and you headed out.
Oh, you went all the way that way. You know, as you approach, well, yeah, you go north out of Pierce's farm,
Yeah.
and then you go west again.
Well, if you could, if you want to go to Delavan, but we just want to go to Millie's.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, west, right there at the
Yeah,
West,
at Pierce's.
at the highway.
Yeah.
And I saw-
Well, you go straight out Pierce's. They didn't go the lake way to Pierce's. It's two different ways to go there from there.
Was it crowded at Millie's?
We got there like 1:30 or
1:30.
so. It wasn't that crowded.
No, it probably wouldn't
We
be.
just-
Didn't see many people around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the season's over. What did you all have? Do you all have chicken salad?
Yeah, I had a chicken salad, they had chicken salad sandwiches.
Oh, I see.
And how about Bottles? Did you like it?
That's what we had at Bottles. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think they had it at Millie's Fair?
No.
Okay.
We were gonna have apple pie at Millie's, but we weren't hungry.
I'm not eating a big lunch.
If you haven't had the apple pie at McGuanago, you've never had apple pie.
Oh,
Would
we'll
you
have to wanna go.
would you say that's yeah? Hey, I like that. Claire, would you say that's a fairly accurate statement? That's really good
Well,
apple.
I thought it was a little sweet.
Oh God! No, Claire's saying that because of somebody. We won't say it on the tape.
Imitating somebody is all.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they probably had, when they were there, they might have had it from a different batch of apples.
Yeah,
They
no,
vary.
It was delicious.
At the apple farm, you mean, or what?
Well, it's got everything.
It's everything. It's the Elegant Farmer.
Right, that's the apple.
What it's
You
called.
been there?
I used to pick apples there. It
You
was one of my
did?
summer jobs.
Is that right?
Up in Moanaco?
Yep, I used to drive all the way up there to get there at like 7 in the morning to pick apples.
Well, how long would you pick all day? Oh, yeah. Up
Yeah,
on a
like 3 in the
tree?
afternoon or whatever.
Fill up a bucket?
Well, yeah, I was out there. That was my job.
Well, you might have had the apple pie there.
No, I haven't had the apple pie. I was just out in the
Uh-oh.
orchard. I don't think they really had a lot of things at
No,
that
they
time.
didn't. It's gotten
Now they-
so much larger. Really.
Yeah, right.
Well, you
Got
get
it
a whole meal there
commercialized,
now. I
yeah. Oh,
mean,
great.
yeah.
Got it all commercialized.
And
Tommy was terribly disappointed because when we went in, there was a big, and I was too, there was this big sign that said freshly popped.
Popcorn.
Uh-oh.
And then you had for the weekends.
And.
Tommy looked all over
We
for it.
looked all
All the
over.
places didn't have it.
Finally, we asked one of the ladies there, and she said, oh, we only had that on weekends.
Weekends. I go, oh,
We
too bad.
were all set to have a little popcorn.
I always had to eat popcorn when I was out walking.
How'd you go, honey? How'd you go when you heard that? About no popcorn? You said no.
Because I like to have popcorn when I walk around places to eat.
I got you.
Just at the munch on.
Yeah. But the apple pie, they bake in a brown bag. And
Brown bag it, huh?
yeah, it's right in the bag, and they cut a hole in the bag, probably so it won't explode.
Yeah.
But
You can buy a whole pie, right?
you can buy the whole pie, or you can buy it the slice.
Yeah.
It's
Not free.
Buy the slice, he said.
Yeah.
The whole,
Or it's like-
I run into that all the
I've
time.
heard of fish being cooked in a brown
Paper bag.
paper bag, not in that brown.
It's strictly to steam it a little bit.
Keeps it moist.
Yeah.
Keeps it moist.
And all the aroma.
Yeah.
All in one place.
Seal in.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Sounds like,
Here goes
I want to go.
Kind of a big boat.
that's That's the,
That gag twice is too much.
Yeah, makes me wanna go.
That wouldn't be a bad little,
Well,
make
it's a
sure.
nice drive now because of the hills and everything.
Yes,
Yes.
And the trees changing.
right. Where were you coming from when you went there to work? How many?
From Walworth, all the way from Walworth. I don't know why in the world. I don't know why. It was the end of the summer, and it was just
Yeah.
like a seasonal job.
Oh, sure.
It was after I went in August to, first part of August to Canada with
Well,
a youth canoeing group.
oh, yeah.
And then when I came back, then it was only like 2 or 3 weeks to work someplace.
I saw an ad in the paper or something.
Yeah,
So
so I
they,
drove all the way up there.
do they give you mileage for driving that far?
No, I was too young to ask for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 17 or something.
You were just glad to get the job.
Yeah.
You got the crop picked, that's good. And you could eat all the apples you wanted?
I don't remember all that. I just remember,
Being there.
After a while, you get so sick of apples that,
well,
I've talked to
it's my
these,
favorite.
I love apples too, but I talked to some of these ladies that are, or guys that are working in a candy store,
Oh, yeah.
and I said, I suppose you eat all the candy you want? And they said, ugh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to even look at it.
Smell it, breathe it, live with it.
I never got sick of Grandma's pork dinner though.
No, I guess everybody loves grandma's pork dinner.
roast pork, sauerkraut, and stuff like.
Pork dinner.
The gravy.
Oh, that was good.
I never ate the
Dumplings?
dumplings.
I wonder if you should have that x-rayed, Marie.
If it bothers her, how far she can. There's no bone sticking out or anything.
No.
It
no
looks
more.
terrible.
That's all.
Well, she bruises pretty easily.
Does it ache you at all? Does it ache?
No, sorry.
No, what she
My
tries,
fingers.
it's hard, like, if she wants to, pick up anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Things.
Well, she probably
That's what
sprained.
it's
She probably sprained it. Well, that'll teach you, Grandma,
Be careful.
to be careful after you've gotten into the sauce.
Oh.
What?
It's fine.
You had a little extra one maybe last night?
I wish she did.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. Well, my tomato plants are
They're
not,
gone, huh?
no, I don't think there's anything left. Do you like fried green tomatoes?
No, I don't like anything fried, but.
Yeah.
Good for you. Royal. Good.
How long
Green
have,
tomatoes.
how long have you been on that kind of a diet? I mean, where you watch it?
13 years old.
You started at 13?
Yes, you did.
What possessed you to start at 13? Just out of curiosity.
Well,
Do you-
maybe it
do you
was
re-
like, by the time I was 14 or 15.
Well,
you
all
start
right.
Getting, yeah, 14 or 15, you start getting aware that how your body is built, and you just want to be healthy and careful. I just,
Yeah, that's
so
very
I
good.
was, you know, brought up with my
And-
father's a truck driver, farmer. I ate eggs and potatoes and sausage and
Yeah, which
the whole,
is, I
whole
love.
shot every day, you know, or whenever
Every day.
we're out there.
Yeah.
But no, I just like no butter, no fried stuff.
Yeah.
So that's it. No fats at all.
Yeah, just a low fat, high fiber diet.
Yeah. And what is your high fiber? I mean, what do you consider?
Well,
Just fruits and vegetables?
yeah, lots of fruits and vegetables. If I'm really hungry, I'll eat like a whole bag of popcorn. That's high fiber.
Popcorn's not supposed to be bad for you. I
No,
mean,
it
even
isn't.
even on a diet. I
There
mean,
ain't
Yeah.
nothing on it.
Right. Well, yeah, I get like that Smart Pop
yeah,
with a
What's that?
third
it's not a fatty topping, Claire.
Redenbacher or wait,
Yeah, Orville
Red-
Ruttenbacher.
Yeah.
I mean, I read it all the time.
No salt or no,
Yeah, it's got low salt and low fat. It's like a third less of everything, you
Yeah.
can imagine, or 2/3 less.
Yeah.
And it's only like, you know, like 280 calories, 300 calories for this whole big bag.
And
And
they
then-
say it's very good.
And you
Very
eat,
good
and you
snack.
eat the whole thing?
Yeah, because I'm like hungry or something at the end of the day.
How long was it before you just found that you were having that problem?
Well, Marie, my stomach kept getting large,
Larger.
very large. And for about a year, I mean, you know, I thought, well, old age, you just get large in your tummy. So finally, last March, I went to the doctor and I said, Doc, I wonder if I could have a tumor or anything. I said, my stomach's so big. And he said, well, we'll take you over and have a CAT scan at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Now, that was the end of March, or first part of April. And I
They
got-
tell them what they said about
so
it,
I was
nothing.
so happy when he called and said, no, there's no problem. And I said, well, I guess I'm sure, I really don't eat that much. But anyway, I just kept going my merry way. I mean, it didn't seem to be getting too much bigger than it was in March, so and then finally, in August, I mean, playing golf was such an effort all summer, you know. Oh,
All summer it was?
all summer, really it was.
They
So
didn't,
I-
okay.
In August, the last time I played was with Dorothy at the Ladies Invitation or whatever it was, and oh, I just felt awful.
The last time we played, Claire, I felt like telling you, you know, you play like someone that has a tumor.
But anyway, so then I went back to the doctor and I said, Doctor, there's something in here. There's got to be. And he said, lie down, and he thought, he said, yes, there definitely is something in there.
So, you know,
So then he sent me back over to have another, this time he had me have the ultrasound. And they saw that there was something there. So I said, yeah, we've got to
Yeah.
operate, yeah.
Done.
you know how much the tumor weighed? 6 pounds.
Jeez.
Our daughters were only 5 pounds, 4 ounces.
Yeah.
Shannon and Sheila were about the same weight.
Yeah. Glad to get that rid of that. I said, I don't care what happens. I'd rather die than go another day with this. Oh, it was so
Really?
uncomfortable.
You are now?
No, no.
No,
Then.
anymore, not anymore.
She was.
Well, it feels fine now.
Yeah.
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 The old thorn in the flesh.
Yeah.
We got rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
There's a good percentage that the chemotherapy, they're getting so much better percentages of successes with that. And they think they got most of it out anyway.
Yeah.
And
we'll just cross our fingers. Hope.
yeah, they'll give you 4 or 5 more years. You might
Well,
die of
it's
something
not
else in the
fair,
meantime.
75. How much longer do you
There,
want to
there goes the Walworth. Yeah,
carry on? It's really loaded too. Must have a charter.
they must have a charter.
Yeah.
Mary, is it boat you were on?
That's
Over?
what we were on last Saturday night.
Oh, were you?
You're at Pittsfield,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you charted.
Well, Saturday night, was that good weather?
It was terrible all day, and then it cleared up at night enough for there to be lots of huge clouds everywhere.
Yeah.
But when the sunset hit those clouds, it
Boy,
was like
that was beautiful.
Monet majestic. It was just,
Pretty.
it was
It was.
gorgeous.
Oh.
It was like
Yeah,
fireworks going off, and
Right.
you know, I mean, it was just great.
Pretty.
You know,
Yeah.
the sunset colors you think of, the pinks, the
Yeah,
purples,
the purples.
blues, the oranges. Oh, it's gorgeous.
I think the sunset sometimes is prettier than the sunrise.
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Sunrise is more brilliant.
Maria, is that the only place that you got this? Did you get anything on your knee or your leg at all? Just your,
At the time, a little,
Oh, it's so bad.
Well, that's too bad. But do you have is it bothering you now? Would you need an aspirin?
you with the messy tissue.
Oh, I'll get it.
Yeah.
It's all cleaned up. Grandma's got it all cleaned up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You move so slowly, you know, because you can't.
Oh, she's talking about herself.
Yeah. Marie, Tom wondered, would you like an aspirin or anything like that?
You know, I.
You don't think so?
How about a little shot? That's what Grandpa always used for medicinal purposes. No, but you don't feel any pain though,
You
really?
don't eat eggs at all anymore then?
Not very
Frequently.
often. I think I'm kind of allergic to them. I remember as a child when I ate eggs. I mean, I would eat the potatoes and sausage, but not the eggs. Or did I say eggs before? I mean, I remember one time when Mom made them, I got allergic to them or something.
Yeah. These, what are those ones without the yolks? The eggs, they've got them.
Egg batter?
I don't know, they have something in substitute, but I've never tried it.
You ought to try them, Claire.
Yeah,
What?
Egg beater.
Yeah,
I ought to try 'em.
I think you get those on the airplane.
There you go.
Yeah. Those are good. My mom eats those.
Does she? Fries them, scrambles them like a regular egg, huh? She doesn't.
You can only get them scrambled. I mean, she gets them.
Yeah.
I remember we went out to the restaurant last Saturday, and that's what she had, was egg beaters.
I didn't know that the restaurants had those.
Yeah.
Should have known.
Some of them do. Maybe some of them don't, but
Yeah, no,
I
I
think more of them are getting.
aware of
aware
the
of that
people
kind of
wanting
thing.
that as a sub. I'm going to try it just to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really like an egg for breakfast with
Yeah.
like an English muffin or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I just soon not take on a lot of.
Yeah.
That's full of. What am I trying to think of? That you have a problem with, Claire.
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol, yeah. That's the one thing I'm not bothered with. The doctor is amazed by it.
Yes, it's yours isn't high, yeah.
When I was running, mine was as low as 120.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
It's good.
Now it's like 180.
See, mine's about 130.
Well, that's great.
I know it.
It's like, whoa.
And there's nothing I do to have it that way. Nothing.
Wow. Just the way you're made.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the chemistry.
How about yours, Grandma? Do you know what your cholesterol might be? You got to watch it.
Principal.
She doesn't eat much fat.
I thought
No,
we.
she gets everything on fat.
The only thing I've ever seen Grandma eat that's fatty is bacon.
Yeah, or chocolate.
Yeah. What?
Chocolate,
Is that fatty?
that's all chocolate is made out of.
It's made out of a bean, isn't it?
Yeah, but chocolate butter is how you make chocolate. Yeah.
Never heard of that. I know they
It's
make.
got a lot of fat in it. That's
She-
how you make it hard.
Is that right?
Yeah, chocolate's high in fat.
Well, there goes the chocolate down there. Cocoa's fine.
Well, that's what I'm kind of talking about is cocoa.
Cocoa. They say
Yeah.
cocoa's all right.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah, your Swiss Miss is all right.
I love chocolate frosting on a cake, though.
Oh.
You know, it's got the cream content.
Did you wind up having any of that cake Sunday?
No, I don't enjoy cake.
Oh, this was
Yeah.
this was so good. The frosting almost tasted like chocolate whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
It was real light, and the cake was very light too. Just a little yellow cake.
I heard they had a nice birthday party for
Yes, that was fun.
Tommy and Ann. That's nice.
And
Mm,
2 days I ate so many sandwiches.
That's fun, making all the decorations.
Aw, that's nice.
Very
So
nice.
we're not open until noon. So when we get up to Fox Lake,
Yes.
they let Shannon in at 10 o'clock in the morning. She was the first customer to
So
get
you
it
can pick
Well, they
up-
opened up an hour ahead of time, because they had to get up here.
to pick them up.
They don't normally open up, say, till 11,
Oh, yeah.
and they pick the sandwiches up at 10.
Yeah. Shannon
So
had,
they're very nice about
Yeah, it
it.
was very nice.
she had them all ordered.
Isn't that nice?
All those good
Nice
sandwiches.
birthday party, huh, Tommy?
Sure was. Good sandwiches. Oh. Shannon, a couple, so one day I had 2 for lunch, 1 for dinner, so I bought some off.
Oh, my.
Yep.
I saw Grandma eating, and those sandwiches were
Were they
big.
good sandwiches?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandma loved
Sandwiches they
them.
brought? Wonder, were they? Uh-huh.
And
I've been
they,
trying to get her to have the seafood and crab all summer, and she said, no, I just thought it'd be fishy. So I'm glad she knows now that it's not fishy.
oh, Grandma, I've given you that seafood salad and seafood, yeah, I used to bring it up from Chicago and had it here from the Century. She loved it.
Yep.
That's
We'll know
it.
next summer for a variety.
And I
Otherwise,
even,
all we have is tuna fish and chicken salad all summer, so
yeah,
now we can have seafood and crab next time.
oh yeah, we had
It's
that
good, it's good.
down in Florida too. I got a spot that has that.
Do you like any other kind of, do you like just regular fish, Marie?
They've been, yeah, I had some of them, some of it. It's, not fishy tasting at all. At least I
Oh,
didn't
well,
think
that's
no. And that stuff I used to bring up 2 or 3 years ago that had that real good vinegar. What do you call that?
Balls,
Balsamic or balsamic,
balls, wait, I'm trying to,
something like that.
balsamic? What does it
Something,
mean?
whatever it is.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's just absolutely delicious when you put it in with that crab meat. Or lobster, you do it with lobster. I used to get it from Shannon's store,
Oh, Village Market?
Village Market. And
You were there.
I finally was able to get the recipe from him. All you had to do is find the recipe. But the key to it, the girl told me, was this vinegar.
Yeah.
It just brings out everything.
Will Nancy stay down for a while, Marie?
I doubt,
I think she'll be back.
She'll be back Monday night.
Monday night,
This
she said.
down there for the weekend, yeah.
yeah.
She's leaving her car at the airport.
And, yeah, and
Renting one.
right, just a couple of days. Then David came Monday to pick up a car and left yesterday. The car will be there Friday. David will be a Friday.
That's tomorrow.
Right,
No,
next day,
What is today, Wednesday?
Wednesday,
It's hard for me to remember these.
Wednesday.
I know.
Wednesday.
I went in and looked at my pillbox this morning and I thought, no.
You're lucky you found the pillbox. No, I
David
do.
will be there on the 14th.
I'm always,
Be there in, about noon.
I'm always glancing at the newspaper now to double check.
She does that too. She can't believe it when she gets to the newspaper.
I know it. I gotta see it in print. What are those guys up to now?
So Mary, had a nice ride down, I hear.
Yeah,
No problem.
no problems whatsoever. Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, you're lucky because Sis said that she'd have been having trouble with the car.
No problems.
No trouble finding Sis's at all?
Nope.
Well, that's good. You had real good directions.
Yeah, good
Because
directions from
John
Sandy.
told her.
John and
Yes.
Sandy.
What, you off at PGA Boulevard? Did you come down the Sunshine State Parkway? Yeah, and then you off at PGA?
Yeah, PGA.
Right, then you went across PGA to 1, came up 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly.
Right.
So is Tommy.
Just came down their way and take a left. Right there.
Yeah,
And then
you
Sissy and John, I mean, who was Sandy and John were there? So I must say something about Sandy and John.
She told
Sandy
the
gave me
directions.
Directions. Between John giving me the across the United States directions and Sandy giving me the detailed ones. Once I got to Juneau area or whatever, Palm Beach area.
Yeah. And you stopped your first night in Louisville?
Uh-huh.
South of Louisville?
No,
North of Louisville?
yeah. Yeah. And then, because I didn't leave Chicago until 4:30.
Oh my gosh.
Because she took
I don't know how I did. No, I don't even. I was driving like 70. I wasn't driving. I don't know how I did it. Wow. I didn't. I didn't have a cruise control, so I was going up and down.
Yeah.
When did you get to Louisville?
About 11 o'clock?
9:45.
Oh my gosh, you made a good time.
I made a great time.
What else?
I know I didn't. Louisville looked like a long ways, but I didn't have a cruise control.
You
I
must
went
have-
up and down, but I
Sis
didn't.
has it.
You were probably doing 80 if you, because Sis told me her speedometer is off about 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, I went up to 80, but I never like went 90 or anything.
You
I'd go up and down. I mean, I'd like to cruise really at like 73,
Yeah, that would be perfect.
But you-
It didn't work, huh?
but there's no cruise, so I go up to 80 and back down to
Yeah.
So then you, God, I don't know
How
you
was
did-
the weather? Did you have any rain?
all rain.
Did you rain?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, oh, right now.
That's what took her so long to get to Louisville. She was flying low.
So you stayed in Louisville just what night?
Yeah, just the one night, and then the next day I drove like 13 hours and got to Orlando.
See, that's a
Oh,
Wow,
long
13
haul.
hours. I don't think I could keep my eyes open.
Well,
So I started out late, had a leisurely kind of, 10 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and then I had breakfast in the room, so I left about 10:30, I think, and I had lunch in Nashville. Took my time, had salad bar.
Yeah.
Then I only stopped at Subway, got a seafood salad, sandwich,
what were you going to have?
and then just kept on going. But I didn't get there until, like 12.
Nashville?
11:30, 12:30.
and then what time? So you stayed there all overnight.
Yeah, Orlando, and then it only took me a couple hours the next morning.
Yeah, Orlando's a short distance. I could never get Grandpa and Grandma
So
to go up to Orlando, to Disney.
Disneyland.
I mean, they would have truly enjoyed it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's so sweet. Yeah.
And it's so close. They were traveling all over Europe to see the Eiffel Tower. They had all that in miniature. I've got pictures of that.
Yeah.
Well, you've been to that one, haven't you? The one down in Florida?
Oh, yeah. Kitty and I went with Gus.
In the
it's a world.
in the new part too. I think they do a good job.
Epcot.
What?
Epcot.
Epcot.
I haven't been to this Paramount Theater park yet.
Well, no, they're going to add on that thing forever.
Yeah,
They'll-
I've been to them.
they'll-
They got Universal down there now since we've been
Yeah,
there,
that's what I have done.
and
I've seen one of them in California. Universal.
Oh, that's right,
with them.
Tommy.
yeah, I've been to that one too.
That was fun.
Universal.
Universal-
Now they've got a Universal down at Disney World.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. And they actually are going to make TV programs down there, and you know what I read in the paper yesterday, and I'd love to see it. There was a little article in the paper about trivia things about movie actresses and what have you, and they've got one of Cary Grant, where they're making a movie that has a background shot of a cemetery. It's a studio mock-up of a cemetery. And Cary Grant didn't know this, but on one of the furthest back slabs, monuments, they put Archibald Leach, that was his regular name, born and died. And you can see it, they said very clearly in the movie, if you're looking for it.
I bet he really looked what he
They got a
did.
kick out of it, yeah.
Yeah. What a terrible name.
Yeah, isn't that terrible?
Very, well, how about Roger?
What? What about Roger?
The name. We've always kidded Grandma about that.
What's Roger's name?
Roger. is his name. Never mind, Claire.
Same to you.
What does that mean?
Same to you, Tom.
Well, he said, what do you mean?
I said, all I could hear you say, and the same with Roger.
Yeah, his name. We talked about Archibald being a funny name, and I said, how about Roger? And it's an old joke.
Just
Oh, Joe.
teasing Grandma.
John and I used to tease Grandma about.
What was that?
I did too.
Yeah, it was
No, I didn't.
over our heads.
Yeah.
No, John Lane and I used to kid Grandma about that.
Well, it is in comparison with John and the William and the
Thomas
Daniel and the Richard.
and Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, right. Whereas
Roger,
Roger died.
Roger just got back yesterday from Aspen.
He did?
Yeah.
I thought he'd be back. I saw where Howie Dean's father died in the paper. So I figured Roger would be back. He'd probably be a pallbearer at that funeral. Well, should I turn this off?
I would think so.
Hmm? Should I?
It's been on the whole time?
Yes.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I thought I could catch you pretty good. If you know it's on.
Your recipe, I mean, your whole menu on what to eat and not.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
And you don't want to hear McWanago 3 times.
Yeah.
And we know how fast you drove.
Do we want?
Yeah, that's recorded, okay.
Uh-huh. Right.
No, I never went like 85 or 90, I just know I have.
Yeah.
Maybe when you weren't looking, you would eat
Yeah.
every night.
Well, not 90.
Well, I could have slipped up there. You know, you get
No.
it gets real smooth and you kind of doze off a little bit.
No, I wasn't dozing at that time of the night.
And how was your flight?
Oh, it was great. It was just straight back. I had to drive to Fort Lauderdale, but then it was just nonstop, 3 hours right to Milwaukee. Yeah.
And that was United?
It was
Delta?
American Air West or something.
Oh,
Air West.
yeah.
Because that's a penny
There was-
just took down.
Oh, yeah.
And you come back on the other half that ticket.
Uh-huh.
Since ticket.
Okay, whatever. Take it down.
Yeah.
Since ticket. Come back.
And
No, that's not what we did. It was a straight fare, just jump out of Fort Lauderdale to Milwaukee. It was real inexpensive. It was $101
From Milwaukee to Lauderdale?
to Lauderdale to Milwaukee. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
just a jump. That's cheaper than driving.
oh yes,
my,
yeah.
In 3 hours instead of 22
Yeah.
or 23.
Yeah, and you're gaining back 1 hour.
Yeah.
Coming this way, you leave there at 3 and you're back here at 5. Time for dinner. It's going to be that way from point A to point B all over the world when you get those SSTs, so they don't ruin the ecology, the sound barriers and all that. Roger came back from Paris one time on a SST. They only run between. The United States will not let them go over the country.
Oh, you mean the Concord?
That's an SST, yes.
Yeah, Concord. Gee, it's a lot.
But see, that's coming over the water
Yeah, sound barrier.
because they're constantly breaking the sound barrier underneath them.
Yeah.
If you ever run under a plane that's breaking the sound barrier, it goes along. It feels like someone shot a cannon right next to you. But he said the pilot, he got on Paris, and he said, let's say Paris. It wasn't Paris, it was one of those airports there. And he said, we'll motor over to the coast. He says, and then we'll get going. Because they can't go over land. When they break that sound barrier, because they're flying at about 1,500 miles an hour.
Or
And you can come back here in a pretty big hurry.
Oh.
You're darn near, if you think of it, keeping up with the sun. Hello. It takes the sun. The sun's going across the United States at about 1,500 miles an hour. That's where you get your 1 hour between New York and Chicago, another hour between Chicago and Denver, another hour between Denver and the coast. 3 hours. Well, the SST can practically go from New York to LA in 3 hours. So you leave New York at 12 o'clock and you get in LA at 12 o'clock.
You just call it the sun.
Yeah, they go as fast as the sun. But actually as fast as the world is
Yeah.
turning.
As the world turns.
As the world turns, yeah. Say, that'd be a good name for a TV show, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I really will shut this off now.
Or an